People always ask me, Darcy, how do I apply to a grant? I would like to introduce you to custom GPTs, and I have handmade one just for you. So I would like you to meet Eve. She's your personal grant writer. And I have to tell you, I haven't seen another product or service that comes even close to Eve's capabilities. But I want you to know, Eve is not alone. She is a part of the Triple E grant trifecta. And so to truly understand all that Eve can do, we first have to talk about artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and custom GPTs. Hi, my name is Darcy, and welcome to Darcy's Business. I help entrepreneurs leverage AI to start, fund, and grow their business. And so artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is the ability of a computer or a machine to do human-like tasks, like typing on a keyboard or understanding a language. And so AI uses rules and instructions to process large amounts of data and learn from it. And so when you interact with AI, it's important that you are very clear on exactly what you want it to do. And that brings us to ChatGPT, which stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is a natural language processing model developed by OpenAI that is designed to mimic human-like conversations. And so ChatGPT uses deep learning to generate text that responds to your questions. And it can be used for a variety of different tasks, like creating chatbots, writing grants, or analyzing files. ChatGPT is used to create a custom GPT, which is created to accomplish a particular task. And in this case, Eve is going to walk you step by step in the grant application process. When you get access to Eve, you'll be able to ask her any grant writing question you want, and you can ask it any time of the day, 24/7. And I know you've been waiting on the edge of your seat. It's now time to see Eve in action. So here is the wonderful Eve, who will be your very own grant writer. And so the way that you can meet Eve is that I will share a link with you. This link will take you straight to ChatGPT, where Eve will appear just like this. And so some questions that you can ask Eve to start off will be below. Like, how do I apply for a grant? Help me write a grant application. What do I need to include in my grant application? And is this a good response to this grant question? And so whether you're brand new to grants or you want an expert to review the grant that you've already written, Eve has all the answers. And so let's start off with, how do I apply to a grant? And so Eve is going to start off by introducing herself and then walking you step by step through the process. And so you might be wondering, how is Eve different than ChatGPT? The difference is that Eve was custom made to be your personal grant writing assistant. This is what she specializes in, and this is what she lives and breathes. And so Eve says, hello, I'm Eve, your AI grant writing specialist. I'm here to guide you through the grant application process, tailored to your specific business needs and objectives. Applying for a grant involves several key steps. And then she walks us through the steps. 1, identifying the right grant. 2, understanding the grant requirements, and so forth, in a very clear to follow way. In order to get started with Eve, she's going to ask you to provide more details about your business, the type of grant you're seeking, and any specific grant questions or criteria you have in mind. This will enable Eve to assist you more effectively. And so what you're going to do is you're going to access your grant vault, where you access all of the commonly asked grant questions that you come across. And so you're going to pull from there to answer Eve's questions. I've copied and pasted the answers in. And so Eve is going to say, thank you for sharing your details. Based on your information, here's how we can approach your grant application. 1, you're going to find suitable grants. 2, you're going to craft the grant proposal. Now that Eve understands how much you need for your business, then you're going to establish the tone of voice and structure that you want Eve to use in answering your grant application questions. Before I proceed with identifying suitable grants and drafting a proposal outline, do you have any specific word count limits or deadlines to consider? Additionally, are there any particular aspects of your business or project you want to emphasize in the application? So Eve has broken down by word count what we can include in our grant proposal in a clear to understand format. If you have any questions at all about any section, you can ask Eve to clarify. And so Eve has asked, do I want her to draft the proposal? I will say yes. And so I'll ask Eve to do so. And so Eve has done a beautiful job of breaking down the sections based off my individual needs. And so you can use this as a standard template that you will use to help you apply to grants. Now it's time to ask Eve to help with writing the grant application for the Amber grant. And so with ChatGPT, it's very important, if we don't like the particular answer ChatGPT has given us, we can ask it in a different way. And so I'm going to give Eve the website link to the Amber grant, as you see right here. And so she's going to go to that website and pull the questions from the site. And so I asked Eve to write the exact questions on the Amber grant website, and then I gave her the link. And so she listed off the 6 questions that the Amber grant asks. We're going to ask her to help with question 5 and question 6. And what's really important to include when asking Eve to write the grant application is the grant criteria. Most grants clearly define how they will judge the grant applicants. And so here on the Amber grant website, under frequently asked questions, what criteria they use to select the grant winners. And so I'm going to copy this information. And then I'm also going to click on tips to share even more with Eve. In point 3, it says the average Amber grant application is roughly 600 words, though the average length of the Amber grant recipient, the applicants that win, over the last 6 months is nearly 850 words. And so if you didn't read the frequently asked questions, you would miss a very important point in securing this grant money. So you're going to make sure to copy and paste this information to Eve as well. And that's where I mentioned the 850 word limit that I mentioned earlier. And so now that we've told Eve the questions that we need help with, as well as given her the grading criteria, it's now time to set that timer and give her 60 seconds to give us a good response. And so Eve has given us an answer. If we want it to be longer, we can ask Eve to make it a little bit longer. Eve is great at many things, but she does have one flaw. She's not as good when it comes to the word count. What's very important is that you copy and paste this information and put it into a Word document. And so we asked Eve, can I have a Word file with the questions and responses? And so Eve is generating this Word document so that you can have a closer look at the responses. And so let's click the link. And so here is the Word document that Eve has generated with your questions and responses. What you're going to do is go through this and make small updates. And so if you like, you can make updates and changes. You should also run this text through popular AI detectors. If it shows that it was likely written by AI, Eve has the ability to walk you through step by step on how you can make it sound more human-like. If you'd like me to walk you through step by step through that process, let me know in the comments. And so in a matter of less than 60 seconds, Eve has been able to write you customized responses to your grant question. And I truly have to say, and I know you know it deep in your heart, this technology is amazing. And you have the opportunity to leverage this technology to build the business and life of your dreams. One important point to note is that you do need access to ChatGPT 4 in order to use Eve's services. If you're getting any value from this video at all, make sure to like and subscribe. After hearing all of that, I know you're excited to meet Eve, and the way you can meet her is by joining the waitlist. You'll be the first people to know when Eve and the other chatbots will be released. And I want to leave you on this note. There is free money out there with your name written all over it. I cannot wait to see you next time. Peace, stay building.